Don't anchor has got to be some of the most questionable advice I've ever heard in all of guitar coaching. If you already do it, you don't need to unlearn it. You don't need to feel silly for doing it. In fact, anchoring can be the secret to getting you out of your plateau. I get so confused just thinking about this because instead of anchoring your picking hand to the guitar, we're told to keep a floating picking hand. And people who champion this method, they claim that keeping some sort of contact between the picking hand and the guitar is somehow an interference. And still, they hardly ever give a valid reason for why this is the case. And to add insult to injury, I find that this advice makes it more difficult for guitarists to play clean, fast, and comfortably. Players who work to keep a rigid, floating picking hand are more likely to remain stuck. You risk unwanted string noise and wasting years trying to perfect a technique that actually leaves you at a disadvantage, especially if you're already prone to anchoring to begin with, which many players are. My assignment today is to illustrate why keeping a floating picking hand actually creates the very problems it attempts to solve. I'm going to also make the case for why anchoring reigns supreme, and I'm going to show you how you can use this technique, the anchoring technique, to be an adaptable shred guitarist. So we're going to break down both techniques in more detail. I'm going to quickly illustrate what anchoring is before I actually show you how you can do it and the different ways that you can do it. So anchoring is where usually you'll take your pinky finger, sometimes you might take your ring finger, sometimes you might actually rest your picking hand on the bridge pickup of your guitar, on the strings, somewhere in this neck of the woods, just to have that anchor, hence the name. So that's where that idea comes from. And then opposite to that is floating, okay, where you're avoiding, you're removing all contact between your whole picking arm side really and the body of your guitar. Now, floating, the latter method here, is not necessarily wrong to do, but you are inevitably going to run into some challenges with it just simply by performing the movement as it is before you even pick the guitar. And most immediately, that's going to be the issue of tension, okay? Because once you raise that arm away from the guitar like this, you're already activating the muscles in the upper arm, okay? And that's a big no-no, especially if you want to play fast. And like literally, if you just try it, you're gonna feel that flex happen. Like, I mean, you have to, because the only other option is to relax. And when you relax, you're going with gravity, and you're gonna have some sort of contact with the guitar most immediately, starting with that the forearm there of the picking side, okay? Another issue I find with the whole floating thing is that it discourages proximity to the guitar, which you want. And that's, I mean, the proximity to the pick and your fingers and the strings are really what give you the most control over your picking and your pick attack and all that fun stuff. And when you're floating, you literally create more distance than necessary. And a lot of times this will encourage players to have more pick exposed between their thumb and their index fingers there, and I don't think that's a good thing. It's like literally, do you feel like that there's more control doing that, or do you feel like you have more control with just a little bit of pick exposed right there? That whole principle applies with the idea of proximity here, because the closer you get, the more control you have. And lastly, when you're doing this, when you're floating here, you're robbing yourself of a chance to mute quickly or to maintain muting. And that's because, the result of that is going to be string noise. You're going to be promoting opportunities for string noise when you're keeping your picking hand away from the guitar. So here's, you know, whatever. Now let me just lift up, okay? I'm not used to this, but let me see if I can pull this off here. You know, it just kind of sounds a little more chaotic. It feels like I have less control over what I'm doing, and I feel like it's just, you can't escape the string noise. At least when I'm anchoring here, I'm already set up to literally just drop the palm right there if I'm not already anchoring with the palm as it is. So many players are being told that they have to play in a way that makes tension more likely, makes slower playing more likely, it weakens your endurance, it discourages proximity, and encourages string noise. Why would anyone want to do that? So now let's talk about the cons of anchoring. The cons. This is from the opposite perspective here. Some of the alleged downsides of anchoring, or rather, some of the pros to keeping a floating picking hand. All right, so the voices who champion the whole floating style of picking is that they claim this reduces tension and increases mobility. Okay, I can kind of see the mobility thing if you're kind of just, you know, strumming. Well, let's do that same thing and just anchor real quick, okay? It's literally not a factor at all in this whole thing, okay? So that's the mobility piece. They also claim that you somehow remove tension. Literally, just try that for yourself. Take your picking arm, hand, whatever. Even if you don't have your guitar in front of you, if you have your guitar with you, great, do it along with me. And rest your forearm along the body of the guitar, okay? Do you feel relaxed doing that? If you don't have your guitar, you can use your stomach, okay? Now try to float and have no contact. Now hold that, okay? Which is more comfortable to you? All right? So that's, I mean, you'd be the judge of that. I know what my answer is. Another pro they claim is for why floating is the way to go. It has to do with dynamics, okay? Which again, I could kind of see making sense at first, because you get, you know, you're freed up to have more range in your pick attack when you're going to the pick or to the string with your pick, like that, okay? But you're gonna increase the risk of hitting strings you don't want to hit, as opposed to that. And here's another thing. Let me show you one other thing. This is the secret here, okay? So the pick attack doesn't really come when the pick is going to the string. It kind of did there because I was exaggerating it. But what really gives that pop and articulation is when the pick comes away from the string. See, I've already got the pick on the string, so there's zero distance right there. I'm anchoring. Now listen to the pick attack. It's coming from when the pick is moving away from the string, as opposed to, and I risk hitting notes or strings I don't want to hit when I'm doing that. So my question is, when it comes to anchoring, if anchoring is so bad, then why do Michelangelo Badio, John Petrucci, Steve Vai, Yngwie Malmsteen, all these shredders, why do they do this? Doesn't everyone want to play like these guys? Because these are like top tier, best shredders ever in the history of guitar, okay? So if they can do it, if they're playing at the level they're playing at and they're anchoring, then is it really a problem to begin with? Okay, so let me show you how to actually pull this off in more detail. Okay. So when you're anchoring, as I kind of briefly described before, all you need to do is rest your picking hand pinky on the body of your guitar. Okay. You might, like I have here, you might have your ring finger in contact too at some points. Okay. You're kind of just in naturally as you play, you might see a little bit of rolling, rocking, shifting happen. And that's natural, and that's gonna happen if you want to be an adaptable shred guitarist. You kind of shift between different points. So that's one end of the whole picking hand right there, these two fingers. All right. And you literally, all you do is just rest them. Like I said, you don't want to press into the body of your guitar. That's where I think people are saying the tension comes in which case I can, I can kind of get that, but you don't need to do that because you just rested there. That's it. That gives you the stability and the control you need. The other way to do this is take the heel of the palm here of the picking hand, and that's going to be resting right in this region. Okay. Right along the top of your bridge pickup, maybe a little part of this area of the body of your guitar. And if your guitar has a larger body like mine has, I would even say anchoring can go up to the forearm. Okay. And that's very hard to not do, where you have the forearm just resting on the body of the guitar like that. All right. So why is anchoring helpful? Okay. It solves literally all the problems that floating causes, even though it attempts to solve the problems. It really causes the problems it attempts to solve. Anchoring lets your hand relax, and it does so in a way that keeps you alert at the same time. It keeps you in a state of readiness to take on literally any task that you're practiced to do at that point in time. Anything, literally, you're positioned to go into a tapping scenario, anything like that. Anchoring also reduces the risk of tension on the shoulder when picking. Again, if you were to try this for yourself, I strongly encourage you to do this and let me know what you think and what your experience is with this. But it reduces the risk of shoulder tension when picking. And you can do this for yourself. Have your guitar in your hand and just relax, where you have your fingers here or just your pinky in contact with the body of your guitar. Now just raise that arm even just a little bit off the guitar. Which has tension and which has no tension? Or which has more tension and which has less tension? Again, I know my answer, okay? Anchoring is the way to go if you want to alleviate and reduce tension, all right? Proximity. You can't get any closer to the guitar than you are when you're already touching it, okay? And that's going to help you with control, and it's going to help you a lot with muting, all right? The issue that comes up with mobility, I kind of touched on that as being a sort of a pro to the floating side of things, is the increased mobility. Yeah, I can see it, even though to be honest, like, you don't really, let's see, you don't really get that issue. See, I'm gonna anchor here, or if you're to like, I'm going from the low E string to the high E string when anchoring here. Okay, not an issue. Okay, I think that might even be harder to do when floating. Yeah, the tension is there. It's going to make it feel worse. Okay. When you're anchoring, again, you have more control. So it's like if you were to play basketball or golf or something like that. If you were to take the basket, if you were to try shooting a basketball in the net from across the court versus shooting the basket when you're like right in front of the hoop itself, which do you think's easier? Okay, same with golf. It's like, would you rather be a foot away from the hole, or would you rather be way at the starting point of the field? I don't know, I don't golf, but you know how it goes. Apply that to this idea here with picking. It's like, would you rather have to worry about the distance, or would you rather remove that factor altogether and just be ready to go and ready to play cleanly and quickly? Because again, it's like the speed is an issue too, because you have to, you put yourself in a position to where your pick has to travel a greater distance in order to hit the note or the notes it's going to hit, as opposed to keeping it right there, right up in its face. Okay. All right. So now that you've got an approach to picking that allows you to relax, it promotes readiness, it increases proximity to your guitar, and allows you to play faster with more control, why would you not do that? Okay. And my main focus for my students is getting them to make the most progress in the shortest amount of time. And that's why I don't encourage them to spend years following advice that just keeps them stuck, just because someone puts the idea in their heads that, well, that's just what they're supposed to do. Okay. I work with these awesome people to figure out what roadblock is getting in their way so that they can break through their plateaus and become the total shred guitarist that they were meant to be. And my hope for you is the same exact thing. So if this is resonating with you, you want to make the most of your time with your guitar so that you can get further ahead. I've got a whole event dedicated to that. It is my 5-day shred guitar challenge. By the end of it, not only do we figure out what's keeping you stuck, but you'll be able to add 20 to 50 beats. Actually, you'll be playing 20 to 50 beats per minute faster than you were at the start of the challenge. Okay, it's a super, the 5 days goes by so quickly. And the next challenge, it's coming up real soon. All details are in the link below, and you can also go to zachsharguitar.com and save your spot there. So maybe you're still on the fence about this. Maybe you've been told not to anchor by so many people for so long, and it's hard to shake that out of your head, especially if if floating your picking hand has been something you've spent so much time doing. And that's exactly why I'm encouraging you to anchor. It's because I hate seeing guitarists waste their time doing the same things that just keep them stuck. Okay. So just give this a shot and see for yourself. Then let me know how this works out for you. I hope this blessed you today. Thank you so much for watching. In the meantime, stick in, keep shredding, and God bless.